So yeah, I'm making this video to confess that yearning is wretched. It's a wretched feeling. And I get it. You know, yearning can be lonesome sometimes, because I used to write this line, and it says, perhaps I write so ardently about love just to opiate the sick aching that lingers from its absence. And people, given that on a good day we normally wear rose-tinted sunglasses, we're like, oh my gosh, you know, love, that's romantic, love, love, love. No, bro, I was in pain. And at some point I was like, did I miss something? Am I missing something? I haven't eaten, by the way. Also, anyway, yeah. I think I'm just talking about this because I am online every day, and from what I'm seeing, yearning is romanticized. Yearning is nice, I'm not saying it's inherently bad, but when we overlook the pain that comes with it, it can be lonely for the person that's experiencing that. Because you'll never understand how wretched yearning is unless you're the one going through it. Like, it's an ugly feeling. It's like, ah, my god. Because when you yearn for something or someone, that means the prospects are difficult, barely possible, unattainable. That's why we yearn, that's why we long, that's why the feeling you feel inside is heavy, and that's why people tend to gravitate towards that. That's why it's intense. Sometimes people can mistaken it as love. Same way how people mistaken like toxic shit as like, oh, he loves me because he's like crazy about this, this and that. No. It's lonely. It can be lonely because sometimes you just want to be seen and be like, oh yeah, she's in pain. Oh yeah, she's going through it. Like, you know, be externally validated. Although I actually don't need that. That's why I keep writing anyway. But what I'm saying is that, like, that's something I have observed. Yearning, as much as I want to joke about it and repost shit like, I love yearning, I don't. I do not love yearning 24/7. I only enjoy yearning in daylight, wherein I've had enough side quests to protect me from the sordid consequences of getting to a point. Because, be warned, yearning is consuming. Okay? It's not a nice feeling to want something you know is barely possible, because we as humans, we have this thing called will. And for context, I am a very willing, willful person. I am very like, I can make that happen if I will for it. The fact that I have reached a point where I'm like yearning and sordid and sleepless, that means like, wow, it's really impossible. Because sometimes yearning, by the way, humbles you. And that's what it has done for me. I think that's the universe's way of telling me, like, you need to be humbled, girl. And I am humbled. I am quiet. You know how people are like, I am a yearner, okay? Not to discredit those who are actually a yearner and like would like to verbalize it, but most of the yearners I know are actually quiet. They'd rather like take out a cig, light it up, smoke their lungs out before they tell you about like what's going through their mind, because sometimes it's so consuming, it's so profound to a point where it's very hard to articulate. That is it. It's like, I'd rather be ambiguous. When someone is a yearner, they do have this like mystic air around them. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. But I think, again, that's a byproduct of like, yeah, you know what, I've experienced like telling people about this and It's like sometimes it barely gets to the person, because again, it's something like inexperience limits people, okay? And sometimes when I say something and you know, sometimes I can feel that it's not getting to them, like the degree of like how bad it is, and so that, which is why I'd rather not say anything, because sometimes it makes me feel like, oh, was I able to represent myself properly? Was I able to articulate myself properly? It makes me, you know, doubt myself. Like I'd rather not take the risk of undermining my own experience or like feeling or like whatever the fuck I'm going through. So yeah, I'm making this video to confess that yearning is wretched. It's a wretched feeling. And I get it. It's easy to romanticize it because, like, you know, it's associated with love. And I'm not gonna say yearning isn't part of romance. It is part of romance, because if you think about romance, it's like a multitude of things, and part of it is yearning, because when you love something, you yearn for it, you long for it. That's how we're able to move. Yearning is nice because it prompts you to move, but that's the thing, there are people who yearn and move, and then it's still like, that's how devastating it is sometimes. I was gonna say something but I forgot. But yeah, it's a multitude of things. It's heartbreaking, it's wretched, it's sordid, it's consuming. And as much as we want to live, love, laugh, yearning, sometimes I'd rather die than, you know, go through that every single freaking day. Because yearning isn't just like sitting down and then being vacant after a busy day and you're like, oh, I just remembered I like this person, I want this person, I want to be with this person. It's not like that. It's like you're doing something, and no matter how busy you are, it's always burning at the back of your mind. It's like, I'm so busy, but they're still in my mind. That is yearning. It's like, oh, this crazy 9 to 5 when I could be like out there, blah blah blah. I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me, guys. I've yearned before. And yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is that yearning isn't all nice. And sometimes we need to take things for what they are. Which is why sometimes I'd rather be people who are like, who are able to hold a very ugly conversation. I'm not saying it's inherently ugly, but you know, it's not, it doesn't feel nice. It feels heavy. Sometimes I appreciate people who can carry conversations that are heavy and not sugarcoat things or like be like, oh yeah. Like, no. Bruh, I'm so limited right now because like my brain capacity is like at 10%. I haven't eaten anything. I just have water. So if you're a yearner, I hope you get touched tonight. No, just kidding, just kidding. Just kidding. If you have a yearner friend, or if you're yearning, thoughts and prayers, my love. Thoughts and prayers. Ah! Yeah. Okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say yearning, aside from being wretched, it's also dooming. Because again, it's like a battle versus will and fate. It's like, yeah, you will for this because you're so freaking human. But at the same time, someone out there, someone bigger than us, someone bigger than the universe, has decided that everything is predestined. This is your fate. This is your ill fate. That's why it's so dooming. That's why it's so damning. That's why it's consuming. That's why it's so like, ah! That's why I told you guys I'd rather die than go through that again. Like, I'd rather die than feel like, you know, loving someone who doesn't even know you love them or doesn't even know that you long for them. And I know myself, I have avoidant tendencies and I don't normally tell people if I like them, I don't love them. I don't care. But yeah, it is damning. It is dooming. So it's like you live every day and think, oh gosh, it's helpless. It's, I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. The worst feeling for someone who's willful, for like humans in general, is the feeling that you can't do anything about it. Because we're so human, we're so driven by will. And will is what makes us move. But what is it if we have the will, but we can't do anything about it? It's like beyond our control. It's dooming. It's dooming. It's aggravating. It's sickening. It's highlighter. You know, guys, I found something now. I just realized that I kind of like going out, especially when I'm wearing black, just putting on lipstick and then nothing else, just wearing my glasses. Anyway, ta-ta.